Hello, mathematicians. How are you today? I hope that everything is okay and that you are enjoying this beautiful weather from inside. Yes, we want to continue practicing social distancing. All right, so we're going to get into math workshop. We are coming down to the last couple of lessons in this unit of fractions, and I am so proud of the work that I've been seeing. I want you guys to keep up the good work, keep striving to reach your goals, and you will succeed. All right, so let's get into it. The teaching point today is mathematicians will find the product of a whole number and a mixed number by using distributive property and visual models. So our goal today is we want to multiply whole numbers and mixed numbers. We also want to use the distributive property of multiplication, and we want to represent our thinking using models. Some vocabulary we want to keep in mind: whole numbers, fraction greater than 1, which is also called an improper fraction, mixed number, denominator, numerator, multiply, distributive property, which is what we're going to be focusing on today, and of course, fraction. Let's get into anchor problem number 1. Anchor problem number 1 says, draw a tape diagram to represent two groups of a 3 and 1/5. Then it's asking us to rearrange the diagram to group whole numbers together and fractions together. So of course I did this in my notebook because I want you guys to be working in a notebook to show your thinking. All right, so two groups of 3 and 1/5. So first what I did is I represented the two groups. So I have 3 and 1/5 here, and then I also have 3 and 1/5. So this is a tape diagram. Then I did the second step of arranging the whole numbers together and the fractions together. Sorry. So I have the 3 wholes up here, so I carried them down and I represented them together, and then I took my fractions and I represented those together. So then I added it: 3 wholes plus 3 whole is equal to 6 wholes, and then 1/5 plus 1/5 is equal to 2/5. So then I added it up. I know that two groups of 3 and 1/5 is equal to 6 and 2/5. Okay. Anchor problem number 2 says, draw a tape diagram to represent three groups of 7 and 1/4. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to follow the same steps that I did for anchor problem number 1, except I'm going to skip the initial step and I'm going to jump right into putting my whole numbers together and my fractions together. So I have 3 groups of 7 and 1/4. I represented the whole number of 7 3 times, and then I represented the fraction of 1/4 3 times. Now they're asking us to write an addition equation to show 7 and 1/4. So what I did to represent this is I separated the whole number from the fraction. So I know 7 and 1/4 is equal to 7 plus 1/4. Now, they're asking us to represent 3 times 7 plus 1/4. So when I'm doing this, I must show the separation. Now I use brackets so that it keeps things more organized and it shows us the steps for using the distributive property. Now, one thing with distributive property, you must always multiply the number on the outside by whatever is in the bracket. So we have 3 times 7 plus 1/4. So we have to represent it as 3 times 7. So I show that here. And then we have to also multiply 3 times 1/4, which I represented here. And don't forget to bring down your addition symbol. Okay. So then I'm going to calculate that. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1/4 is 3/4, and I'm going to add that together, which gives me 21 and 3/4. So I know that 3 groups of 7 and 1/4 is equal to 21 and 3/4. Let's try this one more time. So we're going to solve 5 times 3 and 2/3 using the distributive property. I'm going to show all my work. Okay, so 5 times 3 and 2/3. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate or represent my mixed number as an addition problem, as an addition sentence. So 3 and 2/3 is equal to 3 plus 2/3. Then now that I've separated, I'm able to multiply the 3 and 2/3 as the expression by 5. So 5 times 3, I'm going to write that here, and I'm going to put my addition symbol, and then 5 times 2/3, which I wrote here, 5 times 2/3, and then I can actually solve. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2/3 is 10 over 3. Now I have an improper fraction here. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to convert. So I have a 15 and 10/3, but I'm going to convert my 10/3. So I know 10 over 3 is also equal to 10 divided by 3. So that gives me 3 with a remainder of 1, which is also equivalent to 3 and 1/3. So now I can add my 3 and 1/3 to my 15. So 15 plus 3 and 1/3 gives me 18 and 1/3. And that is the product of 5 times 3 and 2/3. I want you to try this word today. What I want you to do is I want you to take a moment to set your timer, 30 to 35 minutes, and then I want you to log into Zern. I want you to go to lessons 37 and 38, and I want you to practice multiplying whole numbers by mixed numbers. We want to meet this goal. Try using the distributive property. Always using your notebook so that you're able to show your thinking clearly. Represent it with models if that's helpful for you as well. And then I want you to call a partner. Call a partner to peer assess your work and to discuss over the phone if you like, or via Google Classroom. After you're done, I want you to also self-assess your work. That's so important that you're checking over your work and thinking about what you did. The last step I want you to go back into the class assignment, and then I want you to take the exit ticket, do the exit ticket, and submit it, okay? Then your teacher will be able to give you feedback on that. If any questions, we are here to assist you. Thank you guys. Have a good day.